Ethan, congratulations, you are our Guinness Six Nations Player of the Match. I'm going to ask Francesco Buttinelli to present you with your medal.
Grazie.
Congratulations.
All right.
Ethan, your first season in English club rugby, here you are, Six Nations debut, England debut, and you're the Player of the Match. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Words can't really describe it. It's special.
Coming into this squad as a new cap, what did Steve ask you to do? What did he want to see from you?
Steve, there's lots of new caps in the group at the moment, and Steve just said, bring your point of difference. That's the reason why you're in the squad, and he wanted to see that brought into the team, and our point of difference brought into the team. So yeah, we've just been trying to do that.
And it was certainly there to see for the 80 minutes. I mean, were you nervous going into it, or did you feel comfortable from minute one?
No, of course you'd be nervous on your debut, especially here. We know the Italians are passionate, they never go away, and yeah, very nervous, but luckily came away with the win.
And going down at half-time, you found a way to win in the second half. Must be very pleased with how the team turned things around.
Yeah, I think it was good. We stayed in the fight, and that's another thing we talked about wanting to do. But yeah, full credit to the Italians. They stayed in it, and it was a great game.
Ethan, congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Topsy says we'll see you next week. I think we will, won't he? Because you talked about beforehand what he could bring to this team, and he did that today, didn't he?
Yeah, we talked about him at the top of the show and what he would bring to this back row, and he brought it. You know, the heavyweight, he's 110 kg, his carries were phenomenal. I thought his work rate, as we said, what he's done in the Premiership with Exeter, he showed that today, and I'm really pleased that he just let himself play, and it's good to hear that Steve Borthwick gave him the focus to say, what's your point of difference, and bring it today, and he did that, and I hope to see him in next weekend.
Ugo, at the top of the show, I was talking about this season, it'll be about the how, as much as the how many with England. How was the how this afternoon?
It was okay. Not fully satisfied. I doubt the players are. To concede a try in the 84th minute when the game's wrapped up, a 3-point deficit, only taking 4 points when you'd expect them to come away not just with a win but with a bonus point. It's a good start. We knew it wasn't going to be perfect. I spoke about the intent and how they would look to play. It felt slightly clunky, a bit disconnected, but they'll be happy to get a game under their belt, hoping that they can build and go through another gear when Wales come to Twickenham.
Also, they were put under pressure, as we said, they were losing at half-time, that they actually had to think about the match situation really seriously. It wasn't just some Italy games, particularly at Twickenham. England tend to win them quite comfortably. This was very, very different.
Yeah, they came out after half-time, big focus on defence. As Ugo says, staying connected, but real push in defence, got up fast into the face of the Italians. Discipline cleared up, they really attacked the Italian line out, which gave them that sort of ability to put pressure on Italy and also cut their momentum. Italy, a few handling errors. Suddenly England are down in the Italian half constantly, and they found their way back into the game and got that 10-point lead and were looking pretty strong and solid, but it just didn't kick on. And that's what maybe I think is the next part is here. Why didn't it kick on? Why couldn't we find that, a way to turn that pressure into 10, 15, 20, 25 points? But saying that, I think the key now is now move away from here is to say, right, we keep the intent. Even though it wasn't perfect, we still push on so that next week is more of what we want and less of what we don't, and just keep that building. But, a good start for the new caps and a chance to feel the ground under their feet, and off we go. 3 of the England subs who came on, aged 21, 20 and 20. I mean, it's great for them to get a test of international rugby, to get exposure to it, and just to get a sense of what it takes at this level on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and look, it's been a tough game for them today, but to see the young players come through, especially the player like Cunningham South, I mean, only 7 months ago he was playing for the under-20 setup in the Junior World Championship. So, I mean, what an opportunity for a lot of them. Their family are here today to support them. So, yes, they may not have got the best result that they wanted, but at the same time they've got the experience that they needed, and you can only feel that some of these young players will just continue to grow, and it's all about trying to create this backbone of England squad that will hopefully be around for the next 4 or 5 years.
How special a day is it for those two lads on our screen? Cunningham South, you talk about all the work, it's not about the 25 minutes he's on the bench. This is the body of work of a life, of a young man to be able to have the opportunity he had today. Congratulations.
Absolutely fabulous. Well done to them, as Ugo says.
Jamie, a winning start to your tenure as captain. How do you assess that performance this afternoon?
Mixed bag, I'd say. Really pleased with some of the endeavour. I thought the boys really dug in at times, and we probably had a few growing pains out there. I think I was really pleased with the character that we showed in terms of a couple of thunderbolts, a couple of runaway tries. And a lot of new faces in that squad, obviously first time playing together, and the way that we rallied round, understood the message and got after it. I think the blueprint that we played in the second half showed a lot more about what we're about.
Yeah, the start to the second half was key in particular. So what were the messages in terms of how you're going to turn things around?
I think in terms of our efficiency, obviously there was some fixes defensively that we needed to get right. But again, like, the thing that pleased me the most is that we were pushing, we were trying things, we were trying to play at a different intensity, which is what we've been focusing on. So defensively, you know, there were some fixes. In attack, it was probably being a little bit more clinical and a little bit smarter coming out of our half.
And you just touched on intent there. Defensively, it was noticeable, a lot of line speed. That seems to be something very, very different from this England side.
Yeah, it is. Look, we've loved how Felix has come in and grabbed hold of Kev's defence. Kevin Sinfield was absolutely unbelievable for us in terms of setting the foundations of the defence, and to have him still around is great. But Felix has come in with new ideas, and you know, we want to be physical. The best England teams, I think, are based around their physicality, and we pushed it today. It wasn't perfect, but we knew that it wasn't going to be, and we know we've got to be better going into Wales. But I think it was a pretty good start.
It was great.